True to New York
Yes.
Spurs. What is going on, Boogie
Spurs.
Hollis? You know why? Because you started talking and you messed me up. True New York Sports. What is going on? It is Boogie Hollis here with Lou DiMartino. What is going on, Boogie brother?
What's going on, bro? Another
Nothing.
week.
Another week, and a lot of things going down per usual, especially with the Brooklyn Nets. And I see that the Brooklyn Nets also if I look behind you, they also signed Pac-Man.
Manny Pacquiao.
They signed Manny Pacquiao to the
Yeah,
Brooklyn Nets as
to
well,
a lucrative 1-year deal.
for minimum wage, according to NBA standards, because the NBA allows this kind of thing to happen.
Yes.
But anyways, Boogie, how's everything been? How has your week been so far? All right.
Oh, it was good, man. I had a good birthday yesterday, so everything was good.
That's right. Everyone, please say happy birthday to Boogie Hollis, please.
Yes.
It is his birthday. Everyone, please say happy birthday to him. And Boogie, make sure you share it to the UBA page and all those pages too, because I can't do that at the moment.
Okay? All right, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, great. Okay, so anyways, Boog, it is episode number 25. Let's get right into it. What's our first topic for discussion today?
Let's talk about the New York Giants, baby.
All righty.
New York Giants, man. Like, we got draft day is a month away. The Giants are sitting pretty right now. They did a whole lot of offseason moves, signing Galladay and Adoree Jackson, and I think today they signed Danny Shelton, another defensive lineman, because we lost Tomlinson, so they wanted to fill that hole. He played a lot with Detroit. He ended up getting hurt and then came back, so he won't have to play a whole bunch of snaps with the Giants, whatever. But he definitely bolsters the defensive line. So, in my opinion, now that sets the Giants up really well for the 11th pick. Now they're able to draft whatever playmaker they want to draft. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have free reign because I think the first 7 spots is going to be going to quarterbacks according to the mock draft.
It seems that way, right?
So they're going to have plenty of position players. Like I know they were looking at the Alabama wide receivers,
right?
Devontae Smith, who I don't think is probably going to make it to them, but they definitely have a chance to get Jalen Waddle, or if they want to take the tight end route and get Kyle Pitts. But since they signed Kyle Rudolph, I don't know if they're going to really do that since they got two tight ends already. So, but they, like I said, it's endless whatever they can do. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about that, Lou?
No, listen, I honestly think the Giants are in a really good spot right now. Okay, even Gettleman, I don't think we're like you mentioned earlier, Book. I don't think we're giving Gettleman enough credit here. I think he's doing a great job as far as the signings go. And honestly, if I'm the New York Giants right now, the few drafts that I've seen, the few mocks that I've seen, they don't even have Devontae Smith going until past the 10th round in 3 of them, So
yeah, I can't see that.
I can't see that either, But it looks like it looks like to me that the top 3 picks are going to be Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and then Mac Jones. It looks like for San Francisco drafted up this week to get that number 3 pick. And reports have been saying that San Francisco is eyeing their eye on Mac Jones right now. So, which I think Mac Jones deserves to be up there, considering he just won the national championship too.
Right.
So I like it. I think that in my opinion, the Giants don't need a wide receiver. You don't right now, right? You have Galladay, you have Shepard, you have Slayton, you have Mack, who I thought was a really good backup rookie for us last year. I think the Giants need to go defensive lineman. And it seems like in one of the reports that I saw that CBS thinks that we're going to draft a kid out of USC as a defensive lineman. And
I just think that's really high. I think that's really high to get a defensive lineman at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's a major need. I just think that they just need to. I think Daniel Jones needs as much playmakers as he possibly can get. They're going to get Barkley back. So, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully I just want them to give him the best opportunity possible, because this is going to be that make or break year for him. So,
I agree.
Let's just see what happens.
Now, Boogie, let me ask you a question. What would be the minimum that the New York Giants need in order for Daniel Jones to stay as a New York Giant?
I just think that, honestly, I don't know if it's actually like a what place they're going to be in type of situation. I think that he just has to significantly prove that he's the quarterback of the future. Like he has to show vast improvement as far as touchdown to interception ratio. He's going to have to show that he doesn't have to just use his legs. He's going to have to show that he's going to stop making stupid mistakes that he was making, like actually run offense. You know what I'm saying? So if he shows that he can run the offense and show significant improvement, I think that they're going to ride with him. So
I mean, I think it's fair to say, though, that Daniel Jones has improved every year that he's been with us so far, right? I mean, I know it's only been 2 years. This is going to be his third year technically. But it's safe to say that every year he's improved at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, he can only get better, right? If he gets worse, I can totally see the Giants just saying, you know what, we should have drafted a quarterback. But it doesn't look like that. It looks like they really think Daniel Jones is their guy. And if that's the case, great. I like Daniel Jones. The last half, Daniel Jones was a great addition to the team. So I'm totally fine with that.
Like I said, especially now you're going to give him a chance to have all these playmakers. So let's see what he does.
There's no excuse, right? There's no excuse.
Let's see what he
really
does.
Not. Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the New York Jets. That's a completely different conversation. Completely different. So reports that I was hearing today is that the general consensus is the most that the Jets can possibly get for Sam Darnold is a third-round pick. How bad is that?
Okay, so here's my situation if I'm the New York Jets right now, okay?
All right.
You hear that your third overall pick a few years ago is now only a third-round draft pick, possibly to trade for, right? So at this point, if I'm the New York Jets, and listen, I still think Sam Darnold is your guy, okay? I still think he's your dude. A lot of Jet fans do not agree with me with this. But if I'm New York Jets now, I honestly think what they plan on doing is that they're going to draft Zach Wilson in that second-round pick, and they're not going to get anything for Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson are going to fight for that quarterback position until they are either able to trade one of them or they don't sign Sam Darnold the following year due to his contract. So, in my opinion, I think you're going to see Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson both on the New York Jets this year, and they're going to be competing for that spot, Boog. And what do you think about that?
I don't think that that's a bad scenario as far as them competing for the spot because obviously, competition is good. Yeah. But at the same time, if you are spending your pick on another quarterback, which probably they need to do anyway, and they probably can't do anything as far as getting anything for Sam Darnold, I believe that, you're kind of hurting the team a little bit. You're kind of hurting the team just because you're going double quarterback situation. That means you didn't really commit to a quarterback. So since you're not fully committing to Sam Darnold, now you're gonna try to see who's gonna be the best with only Corey Davis as being your go-to wide receiver. Like I don't know. Like their offense still to me isn't put together enough for me to be confident enough to you're putting Sam in a good spot to be in. If that makes any sense, because now he's going to be in the same situation that he was in last year. So how much improvement can he possibly make? Or you got a brand new quarterback that's going to fight for that spot, and he's going to be in that same spot as well. So it's like the Jets had all this cap money, to make moves, and they really didn't do much.
They haven't made any moves. No, you got Corey Davis. Congrats. You got a second-string wide receiver, a second wide receiver from a stacked Tennessee Titans team, who, in my opinion, only really had a good year last year, at least a second half of the year, because all the attention was on Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown.
Right.
And I mean, that's in my opinion. I don't think Corey Davis is good enough to be a number one, in my opinion. I really don't. I don't think Corey Davis is good enough. I don't think, especially if you don't have a good quarterback. You think Corey Davis is going to have 1,000 yards receiving next year?
I just don't see him as the number one that can turn the tables for this Jet team, because the Jet team need a miracle, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? What did Brandon say? I disagree. Having Sam Darnold on the roster would be terrible. Yeah, the thing is, what I'm trying to say is they're backed into a situation where they only can get a third round pick, the most that they can get. So really, you're not really getting nothing for him if you get rid of him. So it's like they're kind of forced to have him on the roster at this point, unless a GM is willing to take the shot in signing him. You understand what I'm saying? So he still has a year left. So if you're gonna have both quarterbacks on the roster, I mean, you only got Sam for 1 more year. So let's just say he starts off slow, and you throw if you throw the quarterback that they decide to draft, and he starts to shine, then you don't even got to worry about him. He'll be a second string quarterback, and he's gone next year. Honestly, if you want to look at it like that. But like I said, in rebuttal to agreeing with what you're saying, Brandon, is that I feel that if they're gonna waste, I feel like it's a waste of pick to get a quarterback if you're gonna have Sam Darnold be your quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing.
There are so many holes that they need to fill right now.
Right, and here's the thing, and this is why I think you need to stick with Sam Darnold as your quarterback, because if you're not going to get rid of him,
that's true,
right? If you're not going to get rid of him, you still have him on your team for a year. I'm not saying that Zach Wilson isn't a good pick to have there at the number 2 spot, but I think that, like Brandon said, the Jets messed this kid up, and now it's time for him with a new head coach to kind of show what he's still capable of, because I think Sam Darnold has all the talent in the world. I really do.
That's how they felt when they got him.
I know that. And
it's a Jet organization that just makes everybody look trash.
I understand that, but you got to listen, a quarterback is only as good as his wide receivers and vice versa, right? So, you got to give the kid some weapons, and Corey Davis and Sims is not going to be anything for you to help you win a game. And on top of that, you don't even have a run game right now. You're the Jets. You don't even have a run game right now.
This is what I mean. Like, you got a high draft pick, and you're gonna go quarterback when you have a quarterback that you don't know if you're gonna have on your roster. That's why I feel like it's a waste, because, like you said, they need a running back, they need another wide receiver, they need linemen, they need this, Correct. They need that. They need a lot of things.
Right.
That's my point. Like, they have an opportunity going into this offseason to do what the Giants are doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they should have been doing. They should have been filling holes, and all these holes that they got, they should have been filling these holes the same way the Giants started to do. But no, like, their organization is slow feeding it, signing like little low guys that mean nothing.
That mean absolutely nothing.
And now you're sitting here in a situation where you got a high draft pick and you don't know what direction. Nobody even knows what direction they're going.
I agree, Brandon. I agree. And you know what the sick part is? That the Jets have the number 2 amount of money that they could spend this year as far as salary goes. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and then the New York Jets. And they haven't spent anything except for Corey Davis for a $12 million a year contract when they have almost $100 million that they can give up.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy that they haven't done any of that whatsoever. But we'll see what happens. But you know what? The Jets, like I said, I think they're going to still draft Zach Wilson. And I think this is going to be Sam Darnold's last year as a New York Jet regardless, even if he plays well, because I don't think they're going to pick up that 5th-year option. Right. I just don't think like you said, $25 million. Would you pay $25 million for Sam Darnold right now?
Not in the situation that he's in. Like, he hasn't even proven to deserve nothing like that. So no, right. I wouldn't.
And he almost has a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Like that's not good enough for the NFL.
And like I said, and like you said, is that the organization? Is that him? You know what I'm saying? Is that what offense he's in? It's a lot of factors in that. And like I said, you look up and down that roster ain't good. So,
and Adam Gase, I think, is mostly to blame.
And you know what messed the Jets up too? I think they really, really was trying to get a shot at getting Deshaun Watson. And since Deshaun Watson had all this stuff going on with him, that kind of backtracked them too. You know what I'm saying? So I think that really affected him as well.
Listen, I still think to this day that if Deshaun Watson is found innocent, I think Deshaun Watson goes to Miami.
Yeah. See, Robbie Anderson, he's like a deep threat, right? So they played like 2 different types of games as far as wide receivers is concerned. But like I said, they're 2 different types of wide receivers. But Corey Davis, I think, is better suited when he has a number 1 with him. So this is going to be his opportunity to prove that he can be a number 1. But I think this is not an ideal situation for him.
No, not at all.
Sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
No, sorry. No, if I had to pick Robbie Anderson or Corey Davis, I think in a heartbeat I'd pick Robbie Anderson. I'm sorry to say. I don't know. I just think, honestly, that the Jets are dropping the ball on this. And I think you're going to be stuck in a situation with Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. And I don't think they trade. I really don't think they get rid of Sam Darnold because you know why? Denver doesn't. You said, who said Denver? Dennis said that he might get traded to Denver.
Yeah, but see, he's saying a second rounder, but like I said, the consensus around the league has been the most they can get is a third rounder. So they're not even going to get a second rounder.
But even for a third rounder, would you give up a 3rd round pick for a backup quarterback if you're in Denver? Because Andrew Luck is your guy. Not Andrew. I'm sorry. Drew Lock is your guy. So like I don't know if you do that if you're Denver. You know what I mean? I think the Jets are kind of stuck with Sam Darnold right now.
They put themselves in a position to be stuck with him. Exactly.
Right. No, I know. Yeah, and I thought the Jets letting Robbie Anderson go was a huge mistake because Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson had a really good thing going. Even the Jets went 7-9 2 years ago, and Robbie Anderson had over 1,200 yards, if I'm not mistaken, receiving that year. And him and Robbie Anderson had a good thing, and then they let him go. And then Sam Darnold had no one to throw to.
See, and that's what we talk about organization. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like you see something that's working, and then you go the opposite direction of it. So now you want to blame the quarterback when he had a connection with a wide receiver.
Right. And and Uncle Ben, we're going to talk about baseball in a second, and I'll explain to you what the protocols are as far as going to a game are as soon as we start talking about baseball.
Right. Moving on for the Jets, man. Let's go to the meat and potatoes of what our discussion of today is going to be, basketball. Right. Because right now, the New York basketball teams have been a hot topic on both ends for two different reasons. Different reasons. So we're going to start with the Knicks. They got to play the Heat today. Luck. I mean, I don't want to say it's luck, but we've been fortunate enough to face some teams not at full strength. Because when you looked at the schedule, remember at the break, at the All-Star break, we looked at the schedule. We seen games that we felt like the Knicks could win, and we seen games that we felt the Knicks probably didn't have a good chance of winning. I mean, they had a tough week last week, so now they're on a 4-game win streak, or they're trying to get a 4-game win streak if they win today against a Heat team who traded for Oladipo. He's not going to play today. They're a struggling team. The Knicks are surging. They won. You've seen the thriller that they won the last game against the Bucks.
The Wizards. And the Wizards.
Yeah.
They're down to the Wizards too.
Yeah. I mean, you knew that the Wizards was going to be a different team going into that game since the Knicks smacked them bad. You know what I'm saying? So you knew, and they came out flat that game. They came out flat. And every team's an NBA team. So let's not get it twisted. If a team is bad, you can't just walk into the gym and expect a W. And the Knicks are not good enough to be that kind of a team to do that anyway.
Absolutely not.
So now they walked in flat against the Wizards team, and who has two bona fide stars on their team. And the Knicks had to fight and claw for that win. We lost Mitchell Robinson. That was a tough loss, and we lost Mitchell Robinson in the midst of the Drummond situation. Drummond already had committed to the Lakers at the time, so then we lost out on that. So there's a couple of free agents out there that haven't played in a while. You know what I'm saying? That they've been bouncing around names. But there was one guy out there that I'm keeping my eye on, and that's Hassan Whiteside. He's still with Sacramento Kings. They're thinking about buying him out, and I think he definitely would fit the team. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, listen, Whiteside has always been a great rebounder. He was great with the Heat. I really liked him when he was with the Heat. I thought he was a great addition. And thank you very much. Appreciate it. And honestly, if the Knicks got him to a minimum league contract for the rest of the year, that would be a great addition because, in all honesty, Taj Gibson and Nerlens Noel are not going to be your answer as far as when playoffs come. I'm sorry to say, because listen, I'm going to call it right now. The Knicks make the playoffs. Okay, Knicks are making the playoffs, and if they keep playing the way that they're playing, they're going to stay either the 4th or the 5th seed. And if we're the New York Knicks, we want to stay that 5th seed, right? Or the 4th seed, because if we're 6, 7, or 8, we got to play the 3 best teams in the East, right? I'm
gonna be honest with you. Not to cut you off. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not looking past the first round. Like just making the first round is a championship to me.
See, that's your problem. That's your problem. You Knicks fans. You gotta go for the championship every year. It's either win or go home.
Because you're gonna be crazy killing yourself with that kind of mentality. We gotta start. See, that's the problem. People laugh at Knicks fans because a lot of Knicks fans aren't realists. Like people, we're gonna go to championship. Come on, bro. Like,
well, no, I'm being a realist.
That's not being a realist. You try to say you're going to a championship. You're not winning a championship.
No. Here's the thing. If you already have the mentality that you're not going to win, you're already putting yourself in a losing battle. So as a Knicks player, you have to have the mentality that you are going to win. I don't give a shit if you're the underdog or not. You have to. As Knicks fans, we can say, yeah, they're not going to. But if you're a Knicks player, you have to have the mentality.
Well, the Knicks fans, the Knicks player, they want to win all they want. And Brandon, just to go to your point, from what I read, they said that Drummond, the Knicks didn't really pursue Drummond because they felt that he wanted to start. So they, in their minds, they wanted Mitchell Robinson to start because they wanted to see if he's going to be our future. So they wanted Mitchell Robinson to start regardless. So they felt that Drummond didn't want to be off the bench. So Drummond was going to rather go to the Lakers anyway. So that's why they didn't really pursue him like that. But now when Mitchell Robinson got hurt, obviously, like I said, it was too late for them to go after him. So that's from what I read. That was the reason why the Knicks had stopped pursuing Drummond. You know,
Right.
they want to keep their locker room the way it is, because right now the way their locker room is, everybody's fighting for each other. Nobody cares. I mean, not that they don't care, but nobody's gonna make a big stink if they're not starting. You know what I'm saying?
There's no ego.
And then you got a guy like that who's playing for a contract next year. He's gonna want to start. So you know, they didn't want that. They didn't want that mix. You know what I'm saying?
It ruins the chemistry.
And I understand what you're saying as far as not wanting Whiteside, but look at the other things you got out there. You got John Henson, Thon Maker, Jordan Bell, DeMarcus Cousins. Like, you got guys out there. So at least get a guy that's actively playing. Yeah, he's not the best center out there, but you're looking for somebody to back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a 3-center rotation. So it's not like we're looking for a superstar center. We don't need a superstar center. We need a defensive center to play with Julius Randle, so that now that solidifies the paint. Because you see, right, Noel, he's in the top leaders in blocks. You know what I'm saying? Even Taj Gibson is giving you blocks. You got Taj Gibson, who was on the Knicks, and he looked like he was washed last year. He looks like a completely different player. So I'm not trying to say Taj Gibson is the star, but look at the way Thibodeau is putting these guys in the right position to succeed. So you can look at a Whiteside and say, yeah, he's trash, he got low IQ, but think about what Thibodeau can do with him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my opinion. You know, like I said, just my opinion.
And listen, all I gotta say is that I have to take a sip of my beer right now. Hold on, and I'll tell you why. Wait.
Oh, we are gonna have cold
because
at some point too.
Yeah. Because the reason why I'm taking a sip of my beer is because when the Knicks signed Nerlens Noel, Boogie Hollis made a stink about how crappy Noel was going to be with the Knicks, and he's been a great Boogie. I want to hear you say it right now. Nerlens Noel has been a great addition to the Knicks.
He's been a good addition to the Knicks. Great.
He's been a great addition to the Knicks. Come on,
you want to know what a great? You want to know what the great addition to the Knicks was? Derrick Rose. That was a great addition.
Yeah, and now he has COVID and he hasn't played. So
no, he has been playing. I guess you haven't been watching basketball.
No. I meant as far like he missed games already when he was when he was with the Knicks.
Well, that's the climate of the day. You can't really blame him for the COVID thing, but you know what I'm saying? Like he's in tip-top shape where he missed 10 games for COVID, went right into it and scored 14 points. So yeah, that's a credit to him. You know what I'm saying? You got your man Peyton, who didn't play, arrived in. He can't even play 10 minutes. Like, well, Thibodeau's yanking him out the game because now he's not playing the defense that he was playing to justify him.
Noel has been an excellent addition. Thank you, Noel.
He's a good addition. He's a good addition. He's been doing well. But the thing is, he's injury prone too. If he can stay healthy, then yes, definitely. But you know, I'm scared every time somebody bumps the man. You know, he's a twig out there. Every time they bump him, I'm scared like it's not a season-ending injury.
All right.
And Taj Gibson is our only other backup. So, like I said, they definitely need somebody.
But listen, let's be realistic here, though, Bug. Okay, let's say the Knicks do obtain the 4th or 5th seed. Okay, more than likely, right now, if the season ended right now, the Knicks would be the 5th seed, and Miami Heat would. I'm sorry. Is it the Heat that would be the 4th seed right now, or the Hawks? I'm pretty sure it was the Heat.
I gotta look it up because everything changes. It's so tight. The race is so tight right now, like it's hard to even say. Let me see.
I got you right now. So right now, if the season ended,
the Knicks are 4th. The Knicks are 4th seed right now,
and they would be playing the Charlotte Hornets right now. Okay,
who have no LaMelo Ball, but that team is slowly falling.
Right, but you don't think right. But let's just say the season is right now. You don't think the Knicks could beat the Charlotte Hornets in the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah, of course, but I just don't believe the Charlotte Hornets are going to still be there. You know what I'm saying? Like. And like I said,
realistically, it's probably going to be Miami or Atlanta.
But this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that they can't make it out the first round. I'm let's watch this season right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking that far. As a realist Knicks fan, I want to see this Knicks team continue to get better, which has been a fun watch for me. This year has been fun for me to see these guys improve because I'm telling you right now, when the season started, you didn't know that this type of Julius Randle was going to be here. You didn't know this type of RJ Barrett was going to be here. Alec Burks Like, do you see Alec Burks? Like, are you serious? Like,
I did.
You cannot tell me that you expect Alec Burks to play like this. So there's a lot of surprises that I can't wait to watch Knicks games just to see how they're gonna figure out how to win a game. Like, because like last year, I just said, all right, this team is gonna lose. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I think we have a chance to win. It's such a different outlook this year.
I should be on
beautiful.
Sports Center
So
because I knew this team was gonna win.
Of course you did. So that's why I'm not looking for no past first round and stuff like that. I'm just trying to like enjoy the season, man.
No, listen. As realistically as a Knicks fan, it is great to see what the Knicks are doing. I don't care if they lose. Honestly, I don't care if they lose in the first round of the playoffs because I would love to see them obviously do well. But no one expected them to do what they were doing this year. Obviously, Thibodeau is doing something right with this team. The signings of Derrick Rose have been unbelievable. Emmanuel Quickly has been unbelievable. Noel has been unbelievable. R.J. Barrett, Randall, all-star caliber players playing absolutely great. The only problem that I'm a little worried with now is that Mitch Robinson was a big defensive threat for us. And he came back, and now he's gone. And that's going to hurt us a little bit. It's going to hurt us a lot. It's going to hurt us. It is. And I think if you're going to replace anybody with Mitch Robinson, it's got to be somebody on the defensive end that can grab rebounds. It doesn't have to be a scorer because we don't need that right now.
It's not just rebound because the Knicks actually are a good rebounding team regardless. I think
they more defensive.
Right. They need somebody that people are going to fear going to the paint. Now, and look what the Bucks did, which was very interesting. I don't know if you watched the game, but the Bucks played zone the entire game from beginning to end. Now, remember, that was the Knicks' Achilles heel offensively facing the zone. And they were caught up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they were down big, but then they figured it out. They started hitting their middies, they started hitting them teardrops, they started hitting their threes. Man, they're gonna get. Obi Toppin actually contributed the last game.
He did.
Like I actually put a smile on my face. I said, "Wow, Obi Toppin actually looked like an NBA player this game." You know what I'm saying? I was actually doubting his progress because he's been looking lost this season. But maybe he's going to seize this as an opportunity. Even Kevin Knox got some good minutes. He even played a little bit of defense because that's what his knock is. Kevin Knox's knock is that he don't play defense.
Kevin Knox's knock is that the Knicks need to trade him.
He had a lot of chances, so I wouldn't be mad if he went. But at the end of the day, now, in the midst of all this winning, we are not free of drama. First, we have Dolan with the whole banning somebody because of a T-shirt thing. And then we
get rid of Dolan shirt.
Get rid of Dolan, and he bans a guy. And then we got Phil Jackson, who's finally I guess made his presence known in the media once again by blaming everybody but himself. He blamed Melo, saying Melo wasn't a leader. He wouldn't accept the buyout. The trade. He would drop his trade clause. He said the media, they backed Melo, the fans. It was just too much pressure. So Dolan had to let him go because he didn't have control because it's everybody else's fault. Like, bro, like what's wrong with this guy?
Phil Jackson, listen, I think what it comes down to, Phil Jackson has an ego, okay? His ego is that, hey, I've won 10 NBA championships as a head coach. I have done things with organizations before, and it's never been anything quite like this with the Knicks. And then what happens when I go to the Knicks? All of a sudden, I'm a disaster. I was set up for failure. Phil Jackson is not taking any blame in any of this, but he's also the one who drafted Frank Ntilikina in the first round for his triangle offense. And how well has that been doing?
The triangle offense that never happened because the players scrapped that immediately.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
He thought he was still in 1990, and then they said, "Yeah, guys, sorry about that."
So I don't feel bad for Phil Jackson. Phil, you are the president of an organization. You weren't there for 1 year. You were there for a few years. You were the one who made all the decisions. You took over general manager as well.
And Dolan didn't get in your way.
Exactly.
You can't blame Dolan.
This was all on you. And as much as I would love to blame Dolan because I don't like Dolan either, this was on you, Phil. I am sorry to say this. You didn't have a Kobe Bryant. You didn't have a Michael Jordan. And you failed as a president of an NBA team. Simple as that. Just admit it, bro. Just admit it.
All he had to do. You know what it is? He felt the pressure because he sees Thibodeau, who he didn't sign as a coach. He had the opportunity to sign Thibodeau as a coach.
Correct.
He asked over Thibodeau, who was sitting there saying, "Hey Phil, here I am. I want to be the coach." He said, "No, I'll take guys who never coached before. I'll do that." And then
I'm gonna take Jeff Hornacek,
who's never been the GM, just like how he was the GM. And all of a sudden, the team is looking like a team first year in. So now
isn't it unreal?
He feels the pressure now. You know what I'm saying? He's like, wow, like, okay, this is the same organization that I failed with. I gotta blame somebody.
Right. So let's blame the media, let's blame the fans, and let's blame Carmelo Anthony out of all people.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, and then so now he's saying, it's Melo's fault. He wasn't the leader. He didn't show these guys that how to run the triangle and stuff like that. Melo, see, this is the thing. He wants to, like, a lot of people pick on Melo, right? Oh, he's not a leader, this, that, whatever. Everybody is not a leader in the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't a vocal leader. He's not the same leader that you see Randall is being right now, taking Obi Toppin and all these young guys and pulling them to the side, directing them. He ain't that type. He isn't that type of leader. I'm pretty sure he had a big presence in that locker room. And when Phil Jackson was trying to push that triangle, and he probably mentioned it, and everybody looking at him crazy, he probably was like, "Yeah, you're right. This triangle ain't gonna work." So
it's not gonna work.
So he want to blame Melo. He could blame Melo all he want. It was all him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't put nobody on that team to win.
And not for nothing, too. Carmelo Anthony was on the team before Phil Jackson was even president of the team. So I don't even want to hear that like it was mostly Carmelo Anthony's fault. Because if he would have taken leadership on it and gotten Carmelo Anthony on the same page as things might have worked out differently. So I don't want to. That's all on Phil Jackson. You're the manager. You're the top dog. That is on you. Don't want to hear it. Phil Jackson, I'm sorry to say you're wrong, bro. You're wrong. But anyways, so Boog, you want to talk about the other side of New York right now?
Before I do that, Terrence Taylor, shout out to you and your cousin. We actually should show some light for her too. His cousin is playing on Texas, I believe.
Oh,
so shout out to her. Yeah, shout out to her, man. You know, that's great for women basketball, and that's somebody in the true New York sports family. So we definitely rooting for her. So, you know, big respect for her too, man.
Way to go, Terrence Taylor's cousin. Cheers.
That's it. Cheers. That's it. All right, let's go on to the big topic. Nets, boy. Nets.
Oh my
Manny
God.
Pacquiao signed into the Nets. Baby.
Wait, hold on. Wait. You just Boogie. This just in first. Okay. You heard it first here on True New York Sports.
Breaking news.
Allen Iverson officially signs 1-year deal with Brooklyn Nets to get his first NBA championship. Congratulations. Allen Iverson is now a what? Hold up, what's that? Oh, Julius Erving is now signing with the Brooklyn Nets as well. Isn't it crazy?
Hey man, listen.
Boogie, tell me, Boogie, how much is too much, Boog? How much is too much?
I mean, let me ask you a question then. If you're gonna ask me, let me ask you a question. You're an organization.
Yes.
Right? What's your goal? Your
goal
is
to win an NBA championship
and to increase your chances of winning an NBA championship. Are they or are they not doing this legally? This is legal, right?
They are doing this legally, but here's the thing.
Yeah, it's whack. It's definitely whack. But listen, like, okay, let's take Blake Griffin. Right? Blake Griffin.
Let's hear it.
Everybody all this year was talking about how trash he is, right? He's garbage, this, that, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So Blake Griffin himself said, because he felt some type of way about this situation, by the way. So he's like, how are you going to call me trash all season? And then when I get traded to the Nets, oh, it's not fair.
Right, exactly. No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Am I good or am I not good? That's basically what he's trying to say. Am I good or am I not good? So he also mentioned about LaMarcus, because he said he don't know what people are saying about LaMarcus, but he said about me, I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, people were also saying that LaMarcus Aldridge is washed up. You know what I'm saying? So now you got washed up players. Why all of a sudden is it a big deal? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you remember when the Lakers signed Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Mitch Richmond? You know what I'm saying? They were washed up, right?
They were super washed up.
Yeah, they were washed up.
They were like 4 years old washed up.
I'm just saying. So Blake Griffin, is he going to become a superstar now? Like, is LaMarcus Aldridge going to become a superstar now? Like,
so here's the thing. Listen, you asked the question, Boogie, that what is my goal as an NBA owner? And that is to win a championship. I am not shitting on the Brooklyn Nets for doing this. All I'm saying is that there is a flawed part of this system because Blake Griffin signed a 5-year, $171 million deal with the Los Angeles Clippers, okay? He gets traded to Detroit. Detroit buys him out. They bought out about $30 million of the $100 million that they owed Blake Griffin, okay? They bought him out. Blake Griffin, then he's a free agent, and he signs with the Brooklyn Nets. What the Brooklyn Nets only have to pay him now is minimum wage, which is like the $500,000 mark. Like, that's all he has to get paid is to play an NBA basketball now, right? So this is not a Brooklyn Nets thing. This is a NBA basketball thing, okay? They're just taking advantage of the system, and I don't blame them for this. I don't blame them for this. Listen, but the only thing that I will say about this whole thing is that, in my opinion, the biggest hypocrite out of everyone here is Kevin Durant. I'm sorry to say that, Book. And why do you think I'm saying Kevin Durant is a hypocrite?
Well, because he's the one who tweeted so many years ago about, yelling at the Miami Heat and the Lakers for building super teams. And then he decides to join the Golden State Warriors after that. So,
and now on top of that, look what it is now. Listen, when he joined,
they're following him now.
Right. But listen, when he joined the Golden State Warriors, the main three was the main four, I should say. Kevin Durant, Danny Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, right? 4 all-star NBA players. Now, on the Brooklyn Nets, you have Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, Joe Harris. Like Joe Harris is the 6th best basketball player on this team. That is insane to me.
They might not be done, though.
I know that, because now they're talking about possibly signing Boogie Cousins. It's just the whole bandwagon thing it kind of does suck. I will say that, and I hate it. I honestly, I'm not a fan of it. I love when there's rivalries. There's no such thing as a rivalry anymore because everyone's friends with everyone. When Michael Jordan in the 90s was playing against the Detroit Pistons, he hated Isaiah Thomas and them. He still hates Isaiah Thomas to this day.
Yeah, but you want to know what a bigger difference of that is? Him and Patrick Ewing were best friends, and he still killed Patrick Ewing. Best friends or not. On the court, they weren't best friends. So, even that was one of the knocks that I had with Melo on the Knicks. Like, you know what I'm saying? He'd be laughing and smiling with dudes in mid-game when you're trying to defeat these guys, and these guys are kicking you behind left and right. And you sit there smiling in the middle of the court. That's what I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, as far as being competitive and stuff like that, the Nets are just doing. I mean, just think about this. It's not like they're going out there and trying to convince these guys to sign with them. These guys are running to the Nets. Like, please sign me. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, if LaMarcus Aldridge comes to my door and says, I want to play for your basketball team, and for minimum wage, I'm not signing him. You can't not do it. You cannot do it.
Now, let me ask you a question now.
Yeah.
Is Blake Griffin a shell of himself, or did he do what James Harden did?
No,
and the reason why I asked you that, right, is because the man didn't dunk in 2 years. His first game on the Nets team, what did he do?
His first points on the Nets team
was a what?
A dunk.
Now, what did he do that last game? You want to tell me? I'm about to pull that up. What did he do the last game?
I'm pretty sure James Harden did a no-look alley-oop slam dunk on the Detroit Pistons, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's take a look at that one. Let's take a look at that.
Plenty of time in this game. That's still with work to do.
And look how hyped up he gets.
He enters against the team he got traded from, Detroit Pistons. Talking trash.
Right.
Look at this.
What a play.
He got up there, right?
He did.
That don't look like a guy that's washed up to me. I don't know.
No, so here's the thing, though. You have to understand. I think people have to understand something, too, about this whole thing. I don't think Blake Griffin was faking an injury to get off this team. You know what I mean? Listen, when Blake Griffin got traded to this team, it was him and Drummond on the team. Probably the best 1-2 combo in the league prior to Blake Griffin getting hurt in the paint. So I just think Blake Griffin was legit hurt. And listen, he had a knee injury. It wasn't like he had an arm injury. He had a knee injury.
Well, he still has a knee injury, no?
He does, but obviously it looks healed
to me. Miraculously, or
it looks healed to me.
This is what I'm trying to say.
All I'm saying is that I think that Blake Griffin is just He has motivation now. He had some time to heal. I think you might see. I'm not saying you're going to see Blake Griffin of 2014, but I think you might see Blake Griffin of 2016, 2017, before he went to the Pistons. I wouldn't be surprised. He wants to win. He wants to win. He's getting paid $30 million to play basketball right now. He wants to win. He's got nothing to lose.
Yep.
I don't think this is a James Harden in a fat suit, though, if that's what you're talking about. I do not think this is a James Harden
All
in
right.
a fat suit.
I guess we're gonna find this out then, huh?
We're gonna find out, but I really don't think it is.
LaMarcus is not gonna play this game. The Nets are playing right now. LaMarcus is not gonna play this game. The Knicks also just started too. So
Right.
let's just see what's going to happen. You know
All
what I'm
right,
saying?
so let's move on to baseball, though. We got baseball, right?
All right. We got the Mets situation.
Quick, Boogie, real quick, before we start, I'm sorry. Let me just answer Vinny's question real quick.
Okay.
So the capacity of baseball stadiums in New York right now is 10,200 players, of people, okay? So it's about 20 to 25% of capacity. You have to take a COVID test prior to going in the stadium, and they will have tents to take rapid tests to get in before you go into the stadium, okay? So I'm also sure if you got your vaccination shots, if you bring your COVID little thing to tell people that you got the shots, that is also a way to get into the stadium without taking the test. Okay, so that is just that's it. But 10,000 people is allowed in baseball stadiums right now, and you have to have some kind of COVID test or proof that you got the shots. But okay, anyway, sorry. Boogie, continue with the Mets.
No, that's perfect. Like I said, we got Cohen that was trolling the fans and everything, talking about hey guys, what should we sign Lindor? Like how much should we sign Lindor? And I was sending the offer to him and stuff like that. And then he ends up going to dinner with him last night. Let me tell you something, Lou. He's setting himself up where if he does not sign this guy, he's gonna look really bad, man.
No, and listen, I know he's trolling a little bit as far as like how much money should I give Lindor? If it was up to the fans would say give Lindor $1 billion. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is not something you should be asking your fans right now. But no, listen, the season starts on Thursday. They need to sign him, I think, within the next couple of days, and then you sign Conforto a couple of days after the season starts.
He actually wants to be signed before the season's too. So
no, I know that, but I think it's going to be a little tough. If you haven't signed Lindor yet, I think it's going to be a little tough to sign Conforto, in my opinion, before that.
I just hope that they're working the magic at the same time. I hope they're doing, you know what I'm saying, like by opening day, they'll both be signed. That's what I'm praying for. That's the best case scenario. You know what I'm saying?
I know, of course. But listen, Lindor looks like he's going to be the future for the Mets. He really does. You know, Cohen likes him. He seems to fit in really well with New York Met baseball. Like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I really do think he's going to be your new Jose Reyes, but better. I think he's going to be your better Jose Reyes. I think he's going to lead the team. I think he's going to be a great addition. Him representing your offense and DeGrom representing your pitching. I think it's going to be great.
If I was him, I would definitely just like when they negotiate, like don't go too crazy. Like just like if have your goal, tell the Mets this is what my goal is, and if the Mets get anywhere close to it, then just close the deal. Because not for nothing, I mean, yeah, you are the best shortstop at this moment, but there's a lot of free agent shortstops coming up in the next free agency, so he could possibly be ended up short selling himself. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because you already know how sometimes that market goes. Like when the market comes, everybody expects a big payday, and then all of a sudden, no team is offering no big contract. So you got a team that obviously wants you. You might as well take advantage of that now. You know what I'm saying?
And listen, not for nothing, this could be. I'm not wishing any harm on the guy, obviously, but
he could get hurt.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You don't want another Dak Prescott situation, which could have been that Dak Prescott turned down $175 million. And then everyone was shitting on Jerry Jones for not signing him to that. And then he got hurt. And Jerry Jones, all the faith in the world in Dak Prescott, still signed him to a big deal. But you never know what could happen. Lindor can trip one day, fall before his contract, and break his ankle. And then next thing you know, he's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so, sign it now. Get it out of the way. You're a multi-millionaire playing baseball. You're going to have investments for the rest of your life. You're going to be fine, brother. You're going to be fine. So I think it'd be a great move if he signs a couple of days before the season starts. That'd be great.
And then real quick, it looks like Lucchesi, they're playing around with him being the fifth starter. If he don't start, they're thinking about putting somebody in the bullpen to start and finishing it. So it looks like we're coming along with finishing our rotation. So now it's like I said, it's about just solidifying the batting situation. So
exactly, yep. And I think the Mets are going to be okay. I still don't think the Mets are going to win the East. I'm sorry to say, I really don't think they're going to win the East. I still think you have to beat a very tough Atlanta Braves team. But playoff. I'm not even too sure if they decided on the playoff stuff yet, as far as 8 teams or 6 teams go. But I have to double check that. But if it's 8 teams, I think the Mets make it. You know what I mean? But I think the Mets are a wild card team. Regardless.
We'll see what happens because I think they're gonna win the East. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go to your Yankees. Big injury.
Yeah, buddy. I know. Luke Voigt.
Big injury.
Luke Voigt tore meniscus. Gonna be out for quite a while. Sorry for your fantasy baseball players who drafted Luke Voigt anytime before yesterday, but that's what happened. It looks like that Luke Voigt won't be playing first base, and
looks like Bruce is going to take his spot.
Exactly right. So
he makes the team.
So he's going to make the team, which is okay. It's fine. But listen, Luke Voigt. I expected Luke Voigt to have a 40 home run, 90 something RBI type of year. You know,
He might have 30. He might have 33. Because I think it was 3. I think it's 3 weeks after the surgery of no baseball activity, and then after that you start get conditioning, and so he should be gone like a month and. A month or 2, not 2 months, but like a month and a week, maybe.
Listen, if the Yankees are winning too, they might not even rush it. They might have him wait until after the All-Star break for all we know. Yeah. So, but you can't rely on Luke Voigt obviously right now. But listen, starting lineup, they already said that Garrett Cole and Gary Sanchez are going to be that 1-2 combo starting off the year. So you have Cole, Sanchez, Torres, LeMahieu, Urshela, Stanton, Judge, Gardner, Frazier. That is going to be your lineup, and it should it's a good team. I
think it's good enough to win the East. I don't really see any teams in the East that's better than you guys at the moment.
Right. Oh my, Chris, can we stop talking about we're talking about baseball, Chris.
What you say? Hold on.
It's talking about Peyton throwing a brick already. God.
No, because the Knicks are playing right now, and he's still the starting point guard, and that's what he's talking about. So, Chris, I agree with you.
Yeah, of course you agree with them. You guys are horrible. But anyways, so I look forward to the Yankee season. Listen, at the beginning of the spring training, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't think the Yankees were going to be the best in the East, but they look pretty good right now, and I think they have
barring injury. Now, we said barring injury, and here we go, starting off with an injury. So I'm praying for you guys.
Right, yeah, no, I know. But no, I really do think the Yankees will win the East. You still have a talented Rays team. And listen, you can't count out the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have some really good talent.
Yeah, they do.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Calvin Biggio Jr., Bo Bichette Jr., and then on top of that, you just signed George Springer. You have, who's that pitcher? Ryu for the Blue Jays. You have good players on the Blue Jays. So are the Yankees a playoff team? Yes. Can they win the East? Yes. Do they have competition? Of course.
Are they going to stay healthy? I don't know.
That's another thing too. Right. Can they stay healthy? That's the main thing. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see.
Yep.
But I look forward. I can't wait until baseball season starts on Thursday. I can't wait.
I can't wait for my team to start.
Right. Exactly. Oh, I'm wearing a Giants hat. Never mind. I'm wearing a Giants hat.
Oh, you can't wait for the Giants to start. I understand.
I can't wait for the Giants to start either, bro. I can't wait for the Giants to start. I can't wait.
But you know what? I love the fact that my Knicks are playing. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm about to go watch that game right now.
Chris said the Blue Jays and the Rays going to give the Yankees a problem.
That's no, I agree with that. I agree. I do think they're going to give them a problem. I think all 3 of those teams are playoff contender teams.
Are the Rays in that class though? Are they?
Did they not just go to the World Series?
No, but didn't they lose people?
Not really. They lost Blake Snell, but that's really it.
Did they improve?
Not really. No, that's the thing.
Were the Yankees better than them just because of injury? They didn't defeat them.
I don't know, man. The Rays are so young and talented. It's so hard to say that. It's so tough to say.
Okay. Do you compare them to the Blue Jays team to the Royals team that won? That Royals team, remember they were all young.
I think this Rays team is better than that Royals team. In my opinion, I think this Rays team is better than that Royals team.
Oh, it looks like the Yankees going to finish second then.
Yeah, they might, and that's okay as long as they make the playoffs. That's all I care about. That's all I care about is that you know. But
I don't believe in the Blue Jays starting rotation. That's why I mean, like, outside of Ryu, like, I don't see them out hitting the Yankees.
Yeah, no, it's give the Blue Jays a couple of years, they might out hit the Yankees.
Yeah, right. Not at this moment.
Not at this moment, though. No.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't know. Like, I'm assuming you think the Braves are going to out hit the Mets because the Mets is looking crazy right now.
No. So here's the thing. I think the Mets are more mature as far age-wise, as far as the Braves. I think they've been around a little bit longer. You know, they have a really good pitching staff too. Not that the Mets don't, but I just think the Braves are really, really. I think the Braves are really good.
I think Herman was named the 5th starter, right?
He was, yeah. So Herman is the starter for the Yankees now. So it looks like, and Talon is not, as of right now, he's still a little hurt. So it actually looks like that if it had to go right now, Yerman would be actually the 3rd starter for the Yankees right now because Talon is hurt, and I think Yerman would get the start over Montgomery if push comes to shove.
Right.
So.
Happy birthday, Clyde Frazier. Today's Clyde Frazier's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Clyde Frazier. All right, the only
spinning and winning.
Right, exactly. Right. But
driving and thriving.
But no, listen, baseball season starts on Thursday. I look forward to it, man. I can't wait.
I would love to go to the game.
I would love to go to the game too, Bug. I would love to. But I mean, it is a good time to, you know, it's so funny because a few months ago we were all saying it's a shitty time to be a New York sports fan. It's actually a pretty good time to be a New York sports fan if you are a Brooklyn Net, New York Knicks, New York Met, New York Yankee fan at the moment, and New York Islanders, New York Giant,
and the Rangers. And the Rangers, they picked it up. They picked it up.
Right. So. The only team that's been kind of like has been the Jets, to be quite honest. So,
sorry, Gang Greenland.
Right. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's horrible.
We can't all be great.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, I think we pretty much covered everything, Lou.
No, I think we covered everything. Episode number 26 next week. Hopefully we have some more information for you guys. We always want to thank you guys so much for watching us, and you know, I hope you guys enjoy us talking about sports as much as we enjoy you guys commenting on with us.
Yes.
So
if you guys are in the group, make sure you look at the new merch that we got. We got new Nick merch. We got new net merch. That net merch is on fire. We're getting a lot of messages about the new Nets shirts. So if you haven't seen it, go check the group out and look at the new merch. I'm gonna start posting the shirts probably in the next episode. So follow us on our Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Right. We out here. So.
And by the way, Chris, any team that's besides the Buffalo Bills that's like an hour away from Canada does not count as a New York team. All right, so Buffalo Sabres don't count.
Well, they actually do count because Buffalo Bills count. So Buffalo Sabres count.
I just said only Buffalo Bills count because they're relevant because it's football.
But the Buffalo Sabres are bad, dog. They're bad.
I know.
They're worse than the Jets.
No, I know that.
They're bad.
That's why, especially why I don't want to talk about them. That's why we don't want to talk about them.
Sabres are bad. Oh, don't let me get into hockey, guys. Jeez.
Right, exactly. Right.
Oh, man.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much again for watching the show. We will be back next Monday for episode number 26, talking about things. Please check out our merchandise, like Boogie said. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Boogie goes live after every Knicks game. I'm sure he'll be live tonight. So please check us out. And we will see you all next week for episode number 28. Boogie Hollis, always 26. A pleasure. Episode 26, always a pleasure, brother.
All right, take care.
Have a good night, guys.